Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this week's trades and the weekly recap. Before I get into the trades for this week, I just finished the week with 16 wins, 6 losses for a win rate of 72.73%. That's below my 80% weekly goal I tried to achieve, and this whole week was just very, very frustrating. There's so many fake outs, so much chop. Stocks would either just rip at the first 30 minutes of the day and chop the rest of the day, or they just would chop all day and they'd fake out both sides. It's just a very, very annoying day, and you'll see when we get to I cover the trades and how annoyed I was and the traps and stuff like that. So yeah, I did not really enjoy this week. It was not as fun as it could have been, but anyways, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of social media. Every morning before the market opens, I post 2 to 3 ideas of what the better setups are that I'm looking at. I don't like posting 10 things. I just think it's stupid. You can't watch 10 things at once. It's just not reasonable, and you just can't expect that, especially out of a new trader. And I'm not watching 10 things. And I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm not watching 10 tickers at the same time. So I know I have a lot of charts up and stuff like that, but at open, too much happens, too much volatility, too much fake outs, too much volume. I want to focus on 2 or 3 tickers, and that's it. I don't care about anything else. Focus on them. Watch for the levels to get broken, because every morning I post the levels. Like on Friday, I posted 2. I posted Roku calls over 328 and BA puts under 226, and BA puts triggered. So, and Roku did get, Roku didn't get over 328 yesterday. But anyways, yeah, with that said, enough of the rambling. You can go on Twitter and you can see the timestamps of the plays. That's why I post them every day, so that you guys can see the timestamps, because that's what's important, is the timestamps. Because you can see that I'm making the call while it's happening, or right when it's happening in real time, not like half an hour or 2 hours after the fact that a lot of people do, which is just dumb. And on Discord, you can see if you edit it, you will say edit, and once in a while you'll see mine that say edit, and I just you can ask anybody in the room. I'm just terrible at making mistakes once in a while. It's like I type in the wrong strike price, or I type in the wrong price. Sometimes I'm not really paying attention, or I just fat finger it. So, but that rarely ever happens. So Monday, where is Monday? Just looking at my Twitter, I've seen Bigfoot's trending. That's hilarious. Monday I had 4 wins and 2 losses, and this is where the fake outs started beginning. Okay, I had SPY puts at 942 on Monday the 4th, right here. You see, he had a nice big run up on Friday. Rejected the RCT trend line. This thing is like magic. It just acts like a magnet. I was watching below what I say in the trade ideas room on the 4th. SPY calls over 434, target calls over 229.50, and Disney puts under 175. And I called calls on SPY, but I quickly changed my thesis. What was it called on this one? I'm trying to see the timestamp. Oh no. So yeah, I changed right away. I didn't really get up to the 434 because I was looking at it over here, over this little lower high right here. But it didn't make it, so I didn't trigger. But I was also watching, if it got below this 432 level, I would take it, and I did take the 431 puts at 90 cents, and then went to 476 right here. 942. Where did I grab it? Did I grab it right here? Yeah, I grabbed it right when it started breaking down, right in here, right below this area. Then I ended up taking SPX calls at 11:37, which is right 11:37 right here. Now the reason I took it here, as you can see, it's going lower. It's making lower lows, but histogram is making higher lows. Now I don't like crossovers. I don't like I don't rely on my MACD and stuff like that. The only thing I use MACD for and histogram for is to see divergences. I don't care about the crossovers and stuff like that. I don't trade like that. I like the histogram divergences. I love those. You can see right here it's going down and this is going up. That to me showed me that it was starting to reverse. And I was also looking at it from the point of view 434 to 327. I mean, that is a $7 drop. It's going to have a dead cat bounce, and it did right there. So those 43.20 calls I got from SPX went from 215 to 470 in that little pop right there. So the first move got that, and then we got that. And the next one I had was the same calls, 43.20 calls at 224, which is I think right, no, 1224, which is 1224 right here. I grabbed it right in here and did drop a little more, but it did come back up, and I did get out green. They went from 210 to 240, so I was very, very happy with that. Then day starting out good. That was the second round. Then I ended up taking SPX calls again at 230. 230. Where are you? Right here. Right when it started to pull back. I was looking at it from the point of view that it was going to break out right here, because it's just chopping and consolidating in this 420. 428.50 area, and I was expecting it to pop. Now it did pop. This is the third round, but instead of the 43.20 calls, I got the 43.10. I got them at $2.10. And they went from 210 to 370 in that little push right there. Then I ended up grabbing the 40, yeah, because the first two times, this one and this bounce right here, were 43.20. So I had 43.20, 43.20, 43.10. Then I went back to 43.20 again at 305, which is right here. I got it in this little dip, and I got them at $1.90, and it just dropped on me, and it just didn't work out. Then I ended up grabbing puts at 322, which is right here. And this is where it just faked out. It looked like it was going to pull back a little bit here, and it looked like it was just going to rip into end of day. Because usually when you have these big drops, it likes to have a short squeeze end of day, because all these ES futures that shorted all day long, they have to cover. And that's why you end up seeing these massive down days have a squeeze in the day, because these futures, ES futures, they need to cover their position at the end of the day, and that's what causes a short squeeze. And it just didn't. So it didn't pop, and it came back down. I was like, okay, maybe it will break through, and it didn't. It just stayed within this channel right here. It was a faked out both sides, faked out right here and faked out down here. It just, I don't know. I should have realized that it was down $7. I don't think it's really going to break a $7 run and go down even more, but you can't underestimate SPY and its exaggerated moves, because sometimes it can just make a 10-point move and not even care. So sometimes having those range thoughts can just backfire on you, and I don't know. I really thought it was going to break out of this little channel in a day, and it didn't. So that was very, very, very annoying to watch. Okay, now on to Tuesday. Let's see. Tuesday I had 4 wins. Yeah, because Monday I had 4 wins and 2 losses. So I just, this whole area still kind of frustrates me. But enough with that. I'll get into Tuesday, which was Roku. Now, Roku, I was expecting a big move all day on all week on Roku, and it finally did. It just caught me off guard. Let's see. Now Roku is on the 6th. Okay, yeah, the 5th is right. This is the day that had its big run that kind of threw me off guard, but I'll get to that when I get to that. Now I had Roku calls at 9:49, which is right here when it broke out right here. Now, if I said in the pre-market trade ideas that just make sure I'm recording. Yeah. Roku calls over 301, Apple calls over 140, and Microsoft puts under 283. And it did break the 301. Got it. And the Roku calls went from 315 to 196. I mean, the 315 calls went from 196 to 210. Not a great move. I've just been thinking that Roku is just going to have that $20 move. Because Roku likes to have these really big range days where it'll just make a $20 to a $50 run and just keep going and going and going and going. And I thought this was going to be the day because it's been had this big drop, been consolidating, and I thought for sure it was going to be this day, but it didn't. So that was a small little move. Then it dipped on me. Then I ended up grabbing it again at 10:45, which is right here. Got the 315 calls again, but this time at $2.02, and then went to 276. So that was a nice little push on Roku. Stalling out at the purple line, which is a 200 EMA. Then I took SPY puts. Now the reason I took it here, because it came back, it dropped back down, and it came back up over the 20 EMA and broke through VWAP. So I did like that, and that's why I ended up grabbing it again. So SPY. Let's see, the 5th, right? Yep. Let me see. 11:13, which must be right here. Yep. I took this RCT trend line's right here, this orange line, rejected it, grabbed it. I taped it very risky because it's up $4, and SPY could just have a nasty day. And where is this, the 5th right here? No. Right there. And you can see this was Friday's highs right here. So I was watching for that. That's what rejected on Friday on the hourly right here on the left. So it did reject that, and RCT trend line was right there. So we had two resistances that were pretty strong. So when it rejected that, that's where I grabbed it. The 435 puts at $2.02 went to 261 in that little drop. Then I ended up grabbing them again at 320, which is right here. I grabbed at 320 the 435 puts again, but at $1.83, and they went from $1.83 to 288. So that was a dollar plus move in that little drop. And SPY has been doing end of day drops almost the last 2 weeks. So almost every end of the day it's been doing a drop. And they kind of go in cycles, you know. They squeeze almost every day for a couple weeks or a few weeks, and they drop every day for a couple weeks. They just go in cycles for some reason, and usually there's a rhyme or a reason. 90% of the time, if it pops all day long like this right here, it will sell into close because the people that went long, the future buyers that went long, they have to sell to get out before close, and or they'll have margin calls depending on or they just want to take profits either way. And plus you don't want to hold the futures because futures could gap down 5-10 points, and if you're holding futures contracts 5 or 10 points futures, is a lot of money. Could be you could easily be down a couple $1,000 plus, so with a small position. So they just take profits before close. And usually when you see, like I was saying on SPY on Monday, that when they have a big sell-off, they like to cover, and that's why you see it pop end of day. And that usually that's 90% of the time. But some reason this week, the last couple of weeks, it's just selling off no matter what it's doing the last half an hour. So yeah, they went from a 183 to 288 on Tuesday. So four plays on Tuesday, and there were 4 winners, so that definitely helped. Now, Wednesday didn't have that great of a day. Had 3 wins, 3 losses, and the first one was Apple. Let's see, bring up Apple. Now, let's see what I had for trade ideas on the, what's the 6th? Trade ideas I only had was, let's see, what time was this? Before open, I put SPY puts under 427. Then I put Apple calls over 140 at 934, and well, that doesn't make sense. No, yeah, 934 is when I posted the trade idea after it opened. Must have started to look good at the time. Let me see the 6 right here. Yeah, because you had the big gap down and it started to get perky right here. And I took the Apple 141 calls at 76 cents at 940, so 6 minutes after I said that. And they went from 76 cents to $1.07. What time did I grab it? Again, 940. I grabbed it in the dip. I must have grabbed it in the dip before it popped up. That was where it ended up going right there, from 76 to $1.47. Then, which I was actually pretty surprised that it did this. Did I take Apple again? No, I didn't. This is where I think I was having trouble with SPY, but I'll get to that when I get to it. I had SPY puts at 955. Let's get the SPY. I think this was the day that was very frustrating for me. I think it was, besides Monday not channeling. Yeah, this is what was very, very, very confusing. Now I grabbed SPY puts at 427 at 90 cents at 955. So I grabbed it right here. Right when it broke down, those puts went from 90 cents to $1.47. That little drop right there. Then I'm just kind of looking. Yeah, because this is the day that I was just chopping in this range that got me on both sides. But I did get this one right here. I did get that. Then I ended up grabbing the SPY 432 calls at 1031, which is right here. Dropped down, quickly rebounded, thought it was going to break out. We had this big gap down. I thought for sure it was going to rip. It did not. It faked out. That was what caught me number one. That I got SPY puts at 1133 right here below VWAP. I thought it was going to break down. It dropped, did a fake out, came back down harshly. I thought for sure we're going to go back to lower day. A fake out, it popped. Because I got it right, I got the 428 puts right here. It popped on me. So I was like, okay, whatever. Then at 153, I grabbed it again. Where is 153? 153. Right here. It started to reject a little bit because I was looking at this right here, this area. The 4350. The 43.15 puts us at 153. I got $2.40 on SPX. Now this is the one I did sell some at 295 and 250. I didn't get all of it out. It just was too fast, even for me. And so yeah, I barely was red on it. So I mean, yeah, I can't sit there and say, you know, because I sold some green. It was a green move. I mean, I don't think I was red more than like $20 or $30. I can't quite remember. I was barely red, and if the overall position is red, I'm going to take it as a loss. If the overall position is green, regardless what happens, I'll take it as a win. But I did sell some for a decent profit, but the rest ended up going red on me. So the difference, so it is what it is. Slightly red, can't complain. Then the last one I had SPY. SPX puts 4340 puts at $2.30, and I got them at 252, which I think was right here. Yeah, I saw the rejection right here, and obviously it was having a hard time right here. Rejected support, then it flushed, rejected, and when it broke below this little area right here, that's when I grabbed it. Those 43.40 puts were in the money or at the money. They went from $2.30 to $4.50. So a small little drop like that could send them quite a bit when they're at the money at this time of day, because remember it's expiration day on Wednesday. And when you're in the last half an hour or the last hour, you're at the money, and these small little 50-cent moves can end up being 100% hitters on SPX. So SPX can make you a lot of money and can also do a lot of harm. So you got to be careful SPX. I've been trading SPX for a long time. So that's why when things start to go in my favor, I start unloading quickly and try to take the 50-cent moves, because as of this move right here, if I didn't take the 295s and the 250s, I would have been down a lot more than $30 or $40 or whatever it was. So it's always good to sell into strength and not get too greedy, because you don't know which ones are going to be the home runs. And when you try to hold for a home run, you're going to do more harm than good. Just take base hits, take doubles and singles, and they'll add up really quick. Because when you get 50 cents to $1 on SPX, which is very easy if you time it right, $500 to $1,000 on 10 contracts per day is decent money considering what the average person makes. But this was the day that Roku caught me off guard, and I didn't trade it. I wanted to chase it, but every time Roku gets a little momentum, it just gets slammed. And SPY had the big gap down. Roku had a big gap down from 304 to 398. I mean, below 300 and 298, I should say, 299. But SPY had the big gap down. I just didn't think it was going to take off. And SPY was chopping. SPY was chopping as SPY was doing this when Roku was taking off. And this was the move I was expecting right here, and I missed it because of the gap down. I hate when SPY gaps down that much, because you just don't know what it's going to do. You don't know if it's going to drop a lot more, if it's going to chop, if it's going to pop. I think it's more unpredictable. Now, if it gaps up quite a bit, I think it's a lot more predictable, because it usually ends up pulling back to go for a profit takers and filling the gap and stuff like that. But SPY just chopped and Roku took off, and I thought about buying the dip, and I just didn't know. I wasn't sure, and this was one of those days where it was a chase and chop day, that if you had to find the ones that are running. If you chased it, you probably would do okay, but you just got to pick out which one's going to run and which ones are going to chop, and that's kind of dangerous. So yeah, Wednesday was a very, very, very frustrating day. Now on Thursday, I only took 2 plays, and one of them was Facebook puts. Now, as I said on Thursday, Facebook calls. Is it the 7th? Yeah, Facebook calls over 338. SPY puts under 437. Get the day up. And it started to pop. It didn't get over the 338. Yeah, actually it did. I think I missed it. Or I think I just decided not to take it because of what was SPY doing in open. Yeah, SPY was popping. For some reason, I didn't take it. I didn't take the calls. I think some did in the room, and they did pretty good on it. But I didn't take it. For some reason, I don't remember why I didn't take it. But I think that there might have been just a feeling I had. Sometimes if I just have a feeling that it's just not gonna break out, and plus all week long the breakouts have been failing. Every time they start to break out, they fail, and I think that was one of the reasons why I hesitated. And Wednesday was a frustrating day, and Monday was a frustrating day of where breakouts were just happening. They were fake outs, so I think I just hesitated. But I did say in the room 9:43 that Facebook puts under 336, and it did break right here, 336 area. I did grab the Facebook puts right there, the 332.50 puts at $1.10. And they went to $4.54 if you held all the way through the move. which I did not. I know a lot. There was a couple people in the room that did hold it too close, towards end of day. I can't talk right. So yeah, they did catch a good portion of this run. So that 110 to 454 was a good little run. Even if you just got this run right here and caught the VWAP rejection right there, that would have been a nice play too. I didn't catch that. I did try to get Microsoft. Let's see, what time was Microsoft? 10:35. 10:35 Microsoft. 10:35. Where are you? 10:35 right here. Not quite sure why I took it there. Rejecting pre-market high. Get a little bit of a pivot right in here on the RLA, the 297. I think that maybe I don't really honestly know why I took that right there. It just chopped on me. It just looked like it was gonna. Oh, no, I didn't take puts. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Okay, this makes more sense. I put calls of a 296.50. Now, for some reason on Twitter, I posted the 297.50 puts. I typed it out wrong on the actual tweet, but in the Discord room, I had calls. It was a call. Okay, this makes more sense. Now I get it. Now that was stupid for me to do that. I don't know why it took me this long to catch that. But yeah, right here, this does make sense. To say that I don't know why why I would do that, but there was a pivot though. But Microsoft's been a $300 magnet, so I got it right here thinking we were gonna get a breakout. Didn't. Faked out, and then it just dropped, and I ended up taking a loss right in here. I thought for sure it was gonna pop here. It didn't. Thought it was gonna do there, and didn't. Right there, it didn't. There, it didn't. I was like, oh my god, this thing is not gonna do it. And I really thought it was gonna break out. This is another fake out, and this is like the, God, I don't know, the 5th or 6th one so far. Yeah, 4th or 5th fake out. It just cannot break out. And that, Facebook, it didn't do that. I think that's why I did not grab Facebook on Thursday, is because of that. I mean, everything is not breaking out. It's just a fake out. It looks strong. It looks like it's going to break out and just get slammed. And that's probably why I didn't grab Roku. I mean, it had the big SPY gap down and just everything's faking out. And you just don't know what's going to run and what's not going to run. And you don't want to sit there and shoot darts in the dark and hoping something sticks, because I do not like playing like that. I like playing and trading when I know that everything is in my favor, and just the fake breakouts are just not in my favor lately. So yeah, such an annoying day. Then I had what was Friday? Okay, yesterday I had 4 little wins, nothing substantial. I had posted a chart on Thursday night about BA having a black candle on Thursday, and the next day it's selling off. I did catch this right here. I did say pre-market Roku calls about 328, and BA puts into 226. And as soon as it didn't really get under 226. I think I grabbed it right here, right under the 226.30-ish area. And I grabbed the 225 puts at 69 cents, and then went to $1. And because the price was at 226-ish, you're right at the money, $1 off from being in the money, and they went 31 cents right there, and they bounced right off the 200 EMA, which is the purple line. Then I ended up grabbing Roku calls. At 10:05 right here. Now it did break the 326. No, I said 328. It didn't really break the 328, but I did adjust and say I was looking for it in 326. I think, no, it's not in the trade ideas. Must have sit in the room. But yeah, I grabbed the 330 calls at 10:05 at $1, and then went from $1 to $1.54 right there. A little push right there. So that worked out really well. It was just consolidating, chopping on the VWAP and PDC. I mean, over VWAP on PDC and underneath the 20 EMA. So it was getting pinched between the moving averages and the indicators, and it finally just pops. We did get that. I like when they actually get pinched between the indicators, because usually it's when you see a stronger move, and it wasn't that strong of a move, but it was for a end of the day, not end of the day, on an expiration day. So if we had to go on a Monday, when we probably had to get like 350 calls, that thing would have barely moved. It probably would have gone up even like, I don't know, a couple pennies, just too far out of the money. So then I had Microsoft puts. Now Microsoft has already had a bad taste in my mouth just because of it's failing to break out, and I used that against it again. I grabbed the Microsoft 295 puts at 1042, which is right here. They went from just chopped, and it finally dropped. They went from 70 cents to $1.41, so that was a little 100% move right there. Just chops all day long. But it had a nice descending triangle. You can see it was making lower highs and flatlining, so it did drop. Then the end of the day play was Amazon. Now, Amazon, I timed it way too early. Way too early. It would have been a monster play if I timed it better. I grabbed Amazon 32.90 puts at 237, which is right. It was right to VWAP rejection. 237 right here. This one. Oh yeah, it was right here. I thought something was right there. It was right here. I grabbed it right there. Now, one of the reasons was whenever Amazon is in a tight range and the options are really, really cheap, at this particular time, options were cheap. The 32.90 puts were under $2, and it's trading at 33.03. So a 10-point move on Amazon is nothing, because Amazon usually moves 50 points in a day, roughly. And I figured, okay, it's going to probably end up selling off. It's been dumping. The market's been dumping end of day all the time. Now, if I just happen to grab it right here, because at this point in time, because all this chop right here, by the time it dropped here, I think that the premiums were under like $1. I think if I remember correctly, they were anywhere from 80 to 90 cents right here. Even though it's further down right here, it just shows you that these few candles right here, Theta at end of the day, just smashed those puts like ridiculously. But if I timed it better, if I timed it right here, I could have got them at 90 cents, and they would have gone from 90 cents to $3 instead of 180 to $3. So yeah, it is what it is. I didn't time it right. Sometimes it's impossible to time these end of the day dumps, because sometimes they happen at 2:30, sometimes they happen at 3, 3:15, 3:30, and sometimes they don't happen till 3:45, and sometimes they don't happen at all. And timing them is just ridiculously hard. But if you get on the right side of it, even if you mistime it a little bit, you should come out green if you get on the right side of it. Now, I got it right here. I got it because you had the strong red candle. It's at 2:30, and it's usually right around the time we could see an end of the day dump. And I think Biden was talking. I'm not quite sure. I think Biden was talking about something. I don't remember 100%. So yeah, then it ended up dumping. So I initially got it at $1.80 and it went to $3. So that was a nice little play. But like I said, if I timed it better, I would have gotten probably closer in the money, and they probably would have been 180 to probably $5 or $7. But what it is. Timing options is very, very tricky. It's not like you're just buying a stock and just holding it and you're just weathering out the dips, and then it pops, you can go. You have theta against you, times against you. On expiration day, you have to time it perfectly and be on the right side, or you just get smashed. So options is very, very difficult. You got many factors against you, and timing is a big factor in expiration day. And I just mistimed it, and I'm not going to be perfect on the timing most of the time. So, but overall, it did work out. But I was happy this week was over. This was a very, very annoying week, very frustrating. So many fake outs. I got caught on so many fake outs. I couldn't wait for it this week to get over with. Hopefully next week will be better. We won't have as many fake outs. We'll have some more volatility, better moves, and yeah, so probably ranted a lot in this video. Sorry if I did. Anyways, hope to see you in the room, and thank you for watching.